Hey everybody, what's going on? Well, good to see you here. And I am going to be doing the meatloaf today. Why? Because I'm hungry for meatloaf. And if you get to see the video I did yesterday on making the salad dressing and the salad, so I got the salad fixings and I got all that. And um, salad goes really good with the meatloaf. Yep, as a side dish. So, I guess we should get cracking. Now, I've already got everything out here and stuff prepared, like, uh, okay, the onions. I use a lot of onions in this recipe and a lot of green peppers. That is what makes this meatloaf so great. and, um, and of course, well, we got ketchup and mustard that's going to go in, some salt and pepper, a couple of eggs. I generally use 1 egg per pound. There's 2 pounds of ground beef I already got put in here, so we don't have to go through all that stuff. And the mustard, dab of Worcester sauce, and I'm going to just put in a little bit of this. It's an enhancer. It's Thai fish sauce, premium fish sauce. I put it in a whole lot of dishes. It really doesn't, have any kind of bad taste to it or anything. I don't know what it does. It just, I love. Okay. Uh, I'm just gonna uh, do these vegetables. I noticed when I was doing the salad uh, video that the knife makes a lot of noise chopping on this board. So that's why I already got these chopped up and ready to go. But I just wanted to do, a quick, you know, it it's just like little pieces like about like that. That's all. Try to be as quiet as possible. Yeah, I mean in that video I didn't realize it, but it was chop, 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 chop. Noisy. Okay. Um, this over here. Get them ready to go in. Yeah, I think I'm done with this. I think I can move it out of the way. Yep, sitting in my rolly chair. This is what I use all the time. I mean, this is where I eat. This is where I write out, pay bills. This is where I do a lot of stuff. And it's just handy. This chair, is just the right height, and so no need to buy a bar stool. And this moves around. I move it to where I need it. But and it's going to be used to take the trash out to the dumpster today because I got a bag to take out later. I usually do it early in the morning, but it was raining this morning. So anyway, um, let's get off to the races. Now, I, I plan on doing some, chit-chatting, during this if it gets, slow. But then I might not have time if I'll see. I was going to tell a story about uh, back when I first did videos, back 17 years ago. I don't know if you noticed, but I've got some aquarium videos up. Now, don't go watch them right now because I'm going to redo those because I've been looking at doing research on if you can, like older videos, if you can redo it. And that way, take off any audio that's on there. This is what I want to do, if I can. And then uh, narrate, you know, and add the new narration recording onto the old 17-year-old video that I did. And I'll tell you why, maybe through this video, what happened and why I quit making videos 17 years ago. And why I was hesitant about, trying it again. But anyway, you know what? Well, let's see. I think I can put the ingredients. I think I'll use gloves. Now, I don't normally use gloves because I washed my hands, but then your hands do get, a mess, and you have to go wash them and all that stuff, and it creeps some people out, and I don't want to creep anybody out, okay? So, when I get into mixing, I'm going to throw these gloves on, and I don't know how that's going to go, because normally I never use gloves for cooking. Okay, first we're going to dump in some little peppers, all the peppers, and, okay, and onion. Yeah, that's what makes it delicious. Okay. Yeah. I got these. What should I do? I'll just go ahead and put the eggs in. It binds everything together. But my mom used to make. I kind of got this. This is a modified version of my mother's meatloaf. So she would put oatmeal, which is great, and I love oatmeal in it, but I don't have oatmeal, never on hand. And she would put a little cracker, crumb up crackers, and a couple of pieces of bread, and then she'd, just dampen it just a little bit with water, the bread, to kind of soften it up. And then, the peppers and the onions and the mustard and the ketchup and salt, pepper, and stuff like that. And I loved her meatloaf. But, so I had to modify it a little bit because I don't put in the bread and the crackers and the oatmeal. But other than that, it's pretty much like my mother's. Okay, so I'll throw in some salt here and some pepper. But what I was going to say, what happened 17 years ago, I had a bad experience with YouTube. Being a sensitive person that I am, my feelings got hurt. Okay? I did these videos. This was after I had, had the stent, the first stent, and the mini stroke. Okay? So my voice was not, I wasn't used to using my new voice, because of being self-conscious about it. And so anyway, I made these aquarium videos. And, about my fish. It was my hobby, and I enjoyed it. And I would look at the comments at first, and somebody asked me if I could, teach them how to do it, because I used to landscape it and put plants in it, and I was constantly, sometimes redoing the landscape. I'd add stuff, I'd move something over here, I'd get a new plant, and I could spend all day just on one tank, especially the 55-gallon. So I thought about it, and I thought, well, okay, I'll tell them how it started, how you start a tank, the best way to do it, because I had made my number, everybody makes mistakes doing stuff when, when it's your first time doing it. So I kind of learned, what was good method. And so I started making some videos. And this is back when I used to wear a tinfoil hat. Used to wear a tinfoil hat. Yeah, I made a tinfoil hat. I mean, it was so cute. But anyway, I had these videos of me. Some of them, a few of them, I was talking about stuff. I don't remember what all it was. But the ones with the, about the fish tanks, how to do that. Well, somebody criticized me and talked about how my speech was terrible and it was too slow. I talked too slow. They didn't like the way I sounded, and just, I mean, it horrified me. I mean, I was already self-conscious, and they did that, and just, it just hurt my feelings so bad. I was so upset. I mean, I cried, and I just, you know, I just, I deleted every one of those videos where I was talking, and I never made any more. And I also quit looking at comments. I quit looking at the comments. I quit replying to comments. I quit, all that. And it was all because of that. I'm still a sensitive person, but I'm not as sensitive. And somebody made a bad comment to me now. I don't think it'd devastate me. In fact, I'd probably get ticked off and ban them, block them, whatever. And I don't mind, a respectful, kind of criticism. It's not that. It's just, nasty, blatant, disrespectful, in your face. That's why I don't recall ever making a negative comment to anybody's. I learned then, how hurtful that is. And so what I did is I just, they say, if you don't have something good to say nothing at all. That's, just because I'm not saying anything doesn't mean I've got a negative comment. Sometimes I'm just do little emojis just to say, hey, I'm here, I'm watching, you know. But anyway, let's get on. Now I have to stand up to do this. Oh, I'm about to forget some of my ingredients. Okay, a little oyster sauce. And see, I could cook and talk at the same time, but it's hard because I have to use my hands. Okay. Okay, and mustard. This thing is about empty. So I'm using the last of it here. Gotta get it all into the trash. And then put a little bit more. Won't have to put a little more. And then a lot of ketchup. Remember the ketchup we made? Yeah. I knew I was going to be needing it because, and like I said, I don't measure, It's just a matter of what I think, is enough or is enough. And actually, this goes in there and but when I cook this, and then it's gonna, mingle in. And I'll explain stuff here in a bit. See, just get in there and just smash this stuff all around. And I think I pretty much got everything in there. And these gloves are kind of awkward. They're slipping around. You want to get the onions and peppers all. Now you don't want to squeeze it. You kind of just want to go like this. But what I do after, I get this all combined is I bake it. Well, in a little oven I use over here to bake in. It's the temperature gauge is a little off, and it's a little under, so I set it on 375. And but you can go, 350, 375. It won't hurt you either one. And after about 50 minutes, I'll take a check. And if the top is, getting browned, okay, that's when I take it out and I put some ketchup on top, all over the top, and then let it run down the sides, and then stick it back in the oven for another, 10, 15, 18 minutes, whatever. And, kind of when the, ketchup is kind of, glazed, look done. I mean, it doesn't look fresh and it doesn't look burnt or anything, but and it's all, everything is boiling under there. Then I have to get my bowl. I probably am going to have to get my hands into this. Either that or put on another pair of gloves. I forgot to get my bowl out that I was going to cook it in. But actually I was going to bake it in the green one pans, what I usually use. But right now I've got it loaded down with those little baby arugula lettuce, and so it's not available. So I'll use my other one that I've used used to use a lot for this meatloaf until I got that other pan. I like that other pan real good for baking in. Okay, I think that's about got it. Yeah, I like that, to get to where the onions and the green peppers are kind of distributed all over the place. See, now these are a mess. Okay, that'd be, my hands would be a mess if I didn't have these gloves on. So the gloves are kind of a good thing. Okay, let me get my bowl. Oh, yeah. See, and it's got a lid. I like them when, you can put the lid on it, store it in the fridge. So, anyway, I guess this is Pyrex thing of a bulb. Yeah, we're going to need the gloves again. So, yeah, cooking videos, they take a while, especially when I get the yakking. And, but I'm hungry. I haven't eaten since last night. So by the time this gets ready, cook it about, an hour to hour to 10 minutes. And because it is, it's 2 pounds. And then You gotta let it rest. And then it soaks up them juices and cools down to get to where, when you cut it, slice it, that, it doesn't fall apart. Yeah, see them peppers and onions all over. Look good. Okay. What I do is give it a little pat, little love. Yeah, gotta give that meatloaf a little love. There went a pepper. Oh well. You're not gonna get on this train. I see. And it's how it looks. It's not over squished up and stuff, but it's enough to where it holds together good. Look at all that green peppers, nice, yeah, good. Yeah. Goes in here and just kind of shape it. I go around, and that gives you an area for because you're gonna have drippings that's gonna, you know, come out there, which is good stuff. Okay. Make it low enough that when you put the lid on, it's going to be cool. It's going to be copacetic. Okay, I guess I'll turn this. I'll turn this off here because the old lady didn't do diligence and get the oven going. So I got it all ready. So I'll take the racks out of the oven, get it ready, because I got, a bunch of racks in there, all kinds of racks. Take them out and just keep the rack in there that I need. Put this in. I'm going to go at 375 for 50 minutes, and then I got to preheat it, and then put the ketchup on. You can let it run down the side of the stuff. Put it good, and then stick it back in the oven and let it go another, 10, 15, 18, 20 minutes, whatever it takes. So, but you can tell by looking at it, check it every, after 10 minutes. And if it looks like it could go a little longer, give it another 5 or 7, whatever. Okay, we're at 23, so I'm gonna shut this off right now, and then we'll be back later after it gets done and cooled and Bye. Love you. Thanks for stopping by and watching. Subscribe and like. Thank you. Thanks for watching.